Hi guys, just wanted to give you a quick tour of DUMeter and just a couple of things how to use it. So here we go. I'm going to, down in the system tray you can see a small icon here. It's the DUMeter icon in the system tray. If I click that once with the left mouse, I can bring it up as a graph. I can hit the X button. It doesn't go off the system tray, so I can toggle that off and on. Number off to the side here is reading the peak of the meter. The red is basically what's coming down towards my computer or downloaded, and the green you can see there is what's being uploaded, and also here it gives you graph or numerically what those are. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up my home router just to kind of give you an idea of what's going on in the background, going in and out of the building and to the internet and back. And I'm also going to bring up an FTP program, and I've got a little avatar movie sitting, part of one sitting in a temporary folder on my local drive, on the C drive, and then on the right hand window I've got basically a connection to an FTP server on the internet. I'm going to be transferring a file, and we'll watch what happens with the DUMeter, and then I'm going to bring up another thing. So we just watch what happens here. So first of all, I'm going to get this file copying. And you can see the meter for my house in my router has gone, and it's gone way up. And if I take a look down here, I can see that DUMeter is also gone up. Now what's happening is it's going from my house out. So that speed, my DSL connection is around 650 to 700. Not near what the download will be, but it'll give you an idea. Just wanted to show you too, a very handy thing is if you right click on the graph, and you can do what's called a new stopwatch. Okay, that brings this up, and at some point right during the middle of the transfer is the best time to do this, like right now while the transfer is happening. Do a start, and it'll actually do a start calculating, and this is very handy, this average transfer rate. You can see the average transfer rate is around 600K. So while things are happening and things are bouncing up and down, this will average it out for you. This is very, very handy. If you want to start again, you just stop this. It clears the values when you start again. So it gives you a snapshot of the values right now, and then you can start. It starts back at 0 again, and will re-average from that point till the time that you stop again. So I'm going to stop this, I'm going to cancel this, I'm going to transfer the other way now, because you can see most of this was green, which means that it was flowing out from my computer, so in other words being uploaded. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, go to another folder here, attempt to here. And basically I'm just going to do a transfer of this one back again. So I'm going to do a copy, and you'll see it'll go fairly fast. But watch the meter down in here, and you'll see that now the red becomes the dominant, and you'll see the number change over here. Okay, so I'm just going to do a copy, and we let it fly. And there you can see the number has now gone to 2.9 megabit. I'm going to do an average. I'm going to start the stop, or the stopwatch, and you can see here that it's averaging about 900K. Now that's not the normal speed of my connection, but you can see it's going up about 3 for a second there. But what DUMeter is catching here is what's really happening. So you can see now that the red is dominant, which means that it's actually downloading at that speed. Okay, you can see that the transfer is almost done here. If I want a true average, I'm going to have to stop the stopwatch before the transfer ends. Once that goes down to 0, of course, the numbers are going to start dropping for average. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a stop just before this is done, and then it can complete, but the average will be more accurate here. So you can see I was getting about almost a meg coming in as an average during that whole time, and here you can see that it peaked up to over 3 megabit at a couple of points, and then dropped down and up and down, blah blah. But this was actually doing a great average of that. Okay, so that's where the stopwatch comes in very handy. And you can close this, and then you can close this, and again that just remains down in here. Okay, so on the system tray, if you want to bring that graph up, it's just click, bring it up, and go up into it and get it out of the way if you want to do some work and you don't want to see it, but you can always bring it up again. Another thing that's very handy, I haven't had this installed very long, so I can't give you a really great demo of this, but if you click on here, right click on here and go to totals and reports, this is a very handy area, especially on a server that's been running this for a period of time. If you wanted to see what had happened a certain hour of a day or something like that, it'll actually, if it's sitting there running in the background, it'll give you traffic with volume reports and that sort of thing, totals. And one I find is very handy is the hourly report, and you can increase the time span of the number of days. If you have it running for quite a period of time, you can increase the days to look at what happened in the different hours. You can sort it by the traffic that was sent during that hour, so it's handy to see, you know, what happened or when the most traffic happened. You can go to daily report and it'll tell you the daily totals. You'd have a list of them here. Unfortunately, again, like I just installed it not too long ago, so but you'll get to know these reports. Very, very handy to catch if you wanted to see if something was happening, a file got transferred, or an image got transferred at a certain hour of the night, or whether there was traffic happening in the school or that sort of thing. You can see that quite easily on an hour-by-hour basis. So get to know these reports a little bit, but like I say, very handy. And we'll close that and take a look in here. I don't think there's really too much else that I need to show you at this point. Just you can go through these options yourself and see what's available, but I'm just going to exit that now, which just exited that graph, and it also exited DUMeter. So if that happens and you actually exit DUMeter and you want it back again, it's just a matter of running it again. So it'll be in your start menu, and you run it and you see that this came back here. Okay, so instead of exiting, I'm just going to hit the X on the top right of the graph, which leaves it running down in here. That's about all I have to show you at this point. Just let me know if you have any questions. Okay.